And I think I'm live. Right. Looks like it. Hi guys, welcome to another impromptu live stream. I did one of these about a week ago, maybe longer. Not sure, time flies. Where I was going to do a bit of research using one of my favorite books, it's TV Cream Toys. And I decided to just live share it so people could come in and say hello. Oh, people are joining us now. And I thought I'd do another one because I thoroughly enjoyed that last time, sharing things that I remember from the 70s and 80s and that you guys remember. And then going into eBay and just finding out how much this stuff is worth or not worth, as the case may be. So welcome, guys. Jason Entwistle has popped in. Excuse me, let me have a drink. We've got Elmo, Daniel, Derek, Stephen, Chris, Paul Mosley, Hannah, Kay. Hi, guys. Zahir, John Morris, George Ross. Good evening. Good evening. Stephen, Steph. Hi, you crazy cats. Yeah. I caught you live briefly earlier. So, yeah, basically, it's going to be the same as last time. The format is I'm going to go through here, find some more stuff that maybe it'll be things I remember or I had again. Last time I was picking out things that I remembered having as a kid. This time, perhaps I'll just start at the beginning and just learn some stuff, really. And we'll go into eBay together and find out if this stuff is worth looking for. So that's the plan. And if you guys have any toys that you remember from your childhood and you want me to look up, then yeah, I'm going for that. George says, shall we get back onto everyone's birth years? Yeah, why not? Let's find out how old we all are. David McMillan, £10. He's super chatted. You really don't have to do that, David. That is incredibly generous. Thank you for that. He says, thanks, Nick, for all the great videos. It's my pleasure. It really is. I do this because I enjoy it. The fact that other people get enjoyment out of it, it's just a bonus, a huge bonus. It's too nice outside for Tat. This is true, but we're shortly having dinner. I've got a fairly tight schedule, maybe half hour, 40 minutes. But then we're going to take Monty out for a long walk because it is gorgeous here. I can see blue skies ahead of me. 1987, Elmo, you are a youngster. 1972, Paul, you are older than me. Thank goodness there's somebody older than me in the chat. 1974, Adrian, same age as my wife. Okay. 1962, Chris. Wow. So far, sorry to say, you're the oldest in the chat. Okay, so if you didn't check out the last one of these, I'll try and put a link to the other video where I went through this book and I was pulling out things that I remembered having as a kid and then went into eBay and did a little bit of research. So this time I'm just going to start at the beginning and see what I find that looks cool. A la carte kitchen. No. Action Man. Yeah, I had it. We all know about Action Man. Airfix kits. We all know about them. Armatron. Armatron? Remember this? I don't. Came out in 1982. Little electric. Has control knobs. Looks like a very simplistic twist and grab sort of thing. Anybody in the chat remember that? Yorkshire reseller. We're still on dates of birth or years of birth. 1901. Hey, William, you're doing well. If you've survived for 107 years. Yorkshire resellers, 1975. So yeah, anyone remember this? Armatron? I certainly don't. I've never seen one back in the day or since. Okay. Let me open up a window and we'll have a quick look. Jason, Nick, I bought that book after your video, $1.99 free P&P off eBay. Fantastic. Yeah, there is a link below if you want to check it out. It's fairly cheap on Amazon, but you have to pay the Amazon book postage, which is £2 something. But last time I checked, when I did the last video, there were people selling the book for a penny. and then the postage is like £2 something. So it's still pretty cheap. It's a great book. All of this text, it's just taking the pee out of it. It really is. It's very funny and very well written. So, right, I'm waffling. Sean bought the book last week too. It's so cool. It really is. I just enjoy reading through it. Glass Hammer, 1972. Yep, similar generation then. I also ordered a copy of the book after your last chat. Retro goodness. Isn't it a great book? I was lucky enough to find this at a Jumbo, I think. Can't remember. Anyway, right, I'm going to screen share because I don't have as long today, I don't think. Andrew's cooking dinner now. Right, so let's dip into eBay. I'll look up this first one because I'm intrigued to see if it's worth anything. I've never heard of it. Right, has that worked? Can you let me know in the chat? I think that's screen sharing. Right, can you see it? You should be seeing an eBay page. So we're going to go Armatron vintage toy. See if that works. Yes, you can see it. It says Busy Bee. Thank you. Right, I'm going to enlarge this so you can actually hopefully read stuff. That looks like it. Right at the top there. Is that too big? I don't know. Let me make this screen wider. Oh, that's in America. Let me go UK only so we're getting prices in pounds and stuff that's relative. Not available. So it's only international sellers. Okay. Let me just try completed. Here we go. Right, that is definitely the thing. £10.50 on bids. 1982. Oh, made by Radio Shack, was it? That takes me back. Tandy. Wow. There was a shop in Hitchin that closed about a week or two ago that used to be a Tandy, and it was still going. Not trading under the Tandy name anymore, but it used to be a Tandy. So they took an offer from 35 in the box. So maybe they got around 30, 25, who knows? Oh, hello, 75. Vintage 1980s Radio Shack Armatron, complete and working, boxed and decal. So there you go. It is worth looking at then, if you can get it in good condition. Look at that, 75, epic sale. Let's go into the pictures. Not just one picture, no, okay. So, yeah. There you go. Another one to put in the old noggin. You can pick this up. Oh, I see. So it had like stuff to pick up and balls to stack. Wow, look at that. Okay, that's cool. So 75 they managed to get. Let's just see what else was on that page. 20, 11.50. See, bids is not the way to go with this sort of stuff. I really don't think. 19.50 on bids. Not, I assume that one's not boxed, so not too bad. So there you go. Not many about. That's all that comes up on completeds in the UK. But by the look of that, yeah, worth picking up if you see it. Let me come out of there and see what the chat is saying. Infomatech late to the party. That's all right. It was just a random stream. Jason Entwistle, I loved going into Tandy / Radio Shack in the 80s. I remember the name. I don't really remember going in one. I used to go in Toys R Us in the late 80s, early 90s when I was buying classic Game Boy and then Super Nintendo games. I went in Toys R Us a lot, which, as you all know, has collapsed. I went to the Stevenage one a few days ago. I did buy a fair amount of stuff, but there wasn't much of any consequence. Sad to see that go, really is. Yeah, Elmo there mentioned Toys R Us now 50% off and then up to 70%. I think ours was at, last time I went in, 70% off, and then they had an extra chunk off at the till as well. But there was virtually nothing left in there when I was there. Glass Hammer, Tandy, that's where we got our CB radio equipment as kids. Breaker, do you copy? I never had a CB. I did have a friend who had one. And that classed as entertainment back then. You just sit. It was in his shed. We used to sit in a cold shed and just talk to random people on a CB. Yeah, fun times. Okay, right. Did I get any shout outs of things to look up? I'm happy to go in and look up stuff. Oh, there's so much chat. Okay. Yeah, if you've got anything, we can certainly dip in and look up things you guys remember. Barbie, we all know about Barbie. Battling tops. I remember this. I think I had one that I picked up myself secondhand in the 80s. Basically a big blue dish, kind of like a plate size thing, and then you pulled these little things, had strings on, and you pulled the top and they span and they hit each other and fell over. I had this as well, although I think I know I've had it to resell since. This one down here, Space Attack. That was cool. I'm going to look up battling tops. I doubt that's got much value though. It was literally just a plastic board with a slight like dip in it, and then the tops just span and hit each other. Let's have a look. Anyone else remember that? Vintage Playmobil. Well, Stacey, yeah, that's kind of, we all know about that. I shared buying and selling vintage Playmobil. I know Ben's done really well, so it's kind of out there. Space Hoppers, Jason. I had, and it's in here. I had this very one, if I can find it. I think they've reissued them though, haven't they? We had one of them from about 74, 75, I would guess. And it was still around probably 5 or 10 years ago, still at my parents', but it had deflated, it had gone all moldy and disgusting. Yeah, I had the orange one. Glass Hammer, they were great. Arranging meetups with strangers with even stranger names or handles. Yeah. God, it's madness, isn't it? Space Hoppers, I had a blue one. Okay, I'll look them up in a minute as well. See if anyone's selling any vintage ones. There can't be many about. Yeah, Peter remembers Space Hoppers from the mid-90s. I think they kind of kept reissuing them and making them. So whether vintage ones hold any value, I don't know. We'll have a look. I want to do this. What was it I was going to look at? Battling tops. Let me do that quick. Okay, let's go back into eBay. I don't know. What do you guys think? Is this going to have any value? Oh, what am I doing? Battling tops. Do I need to put anything else? That'll probably do in games. Right, let's go into completed. I just saw one. Oh, we are in completed. So there's the board, or as they call it, arena only. Let me go into completed and sold. So I'm going to put vintage as well, just to narrow it down, because it's bringing up all sorts. Here we go. Ooh, that's not too bad. Yeah, I don't remember the box. I think I picked one of these up secondhand. When did it come out? Oh, 1968. That was first issued. Wow. So yeah, certainly boxed. Look at that, 35 quid. That was on bids. So that was the starting bid. 37.04, 38. Wow, more than I expected, to be honest. Different box there. 30 quid, 34. On bids, 10.49. Not ideal, but vintage flat top. That's something completely different. Yeah, so there's another one, battling tops. I really didn't expect that to have much value. It's literally a big blue bit of plastic and some tiny little spinning tops. 44, £40.99, 62. They're going up, guys. Oh, that's even got like an insert in it. That's cool. Go into these pictures. So yeah, definitely another one to consider. Look at that. That's in really good nick. And that didn't go for as much as some of the others. Oh, it's got a damaged box. And it's written on. Wow. Oh, I remember those so clearly. Wow. Okay, right. What was the other thing we were going to look up? Space hoppers. Space hoppers. Let's do that. Let me come out of screen share. Hold on. Stop. Barry Francis. My brother had a space hopper. I had a knockoff one called a happy hopper. Like a happy shopper. Anyone remember Shoots Away? Not sure if it's worth much, but I love that game. We looked it up in the last one of these I did. About a week or two ago. It was still on the channel. Yeah, I remembered that as a kid. It's in here as well. And yes, they're worth some serious money. I can't remember the numbers, but yeah, this was Shoots Away that we looked up last time. I absolutely loved that. I never had it myself. My friends had it. I still want to pick one up off eBay just to play it again. But yeah, so Battling Tops, if you see it, that's what it looks like. Probably worth money just loose like that. But as we saw, the ones that were boxed were going up into the 30s and 40s. So yeah, good. Evil Knievel Stunt Bike. We did that last time as well. And there's some serious money in that. Astrolight. Don't know what that was. Don't know what that is. So yeah, Sambai Shoots Away is amazing. Really holds its value. Let me do vintage space hoppers just out of interest. I don't think there'll be many about, and I can't see why they'd hold a lot of value, but maybe as film props or something. Oh, hang on, I'm not screen sharing. And then we'll do, what did someone else just say? Space Attack. Yeah, we'll do that. That one. Okay, so vintage space hoppers. I don't know. What do you guys think? That would be hard to ship as well. They're huge. Space hopper. That's right, isn't it? Oh, that is about what my one looked like before they got rid of it. Let me just expand this a little bit so it's bigger. There we go. Okay, let's go into completed and sold. Oh, okay. Not a lot then. Rupert the Bear Jump Ball. Vintage Mr. Men Bump Inflatable Space Hopper. Yeah. Oh, that's a pin badge. Original 1970s Space Hopper bounce toy. Great condition. £10. Yep, not much value in it. Amazing condition though for a vintage one. Look at that. I played on one of these so much. £18. Yeah. Hardly worth the hassle then, guys. Let me just do it by highest first and see if anything comes up. Yeah. So, not a great deal of value in it. As I said, I think they've reissued these things, haven't they? You can buy a modern version. Bit of space logo there. Right, let's move on. Let's do, I forget what was suggested now. Thundercats. Oh, yeah, I love Thundercats. I did have loads of Thundercats figures. Not back in the day, but before I started making YouTube videos, I'd been hoarding them for ages, picking them up for years at boot sales. And I sold a massive collection off. I had some of the expensive ones, like, what's his name? Jaeger, is it? Oh, I can't remember now. What was I going to look up? What was the other thing I was going to look? Space Attack. Right. Okay. Vintage Space Attack game. Let's try that. That's not what I'm looking for. Neither's that. Here it is. Right. I've had this. I picked this up in a charity shop a few years back. It didn't have a lot of value then. There's one boxed $14.99, boxed $13.95 buy it now, $10.99 on bids. Oh no, that was buy it now. Yeah, was it? Not sure. $10.95. So yeah, just about worth it if you can pick it up for 50p or a pound, maybe. A few on bids there, which just didn't achieve their price. And one on 99p start, which sold for 99p. So yeah, if you can pick them up, just about worth bothering with. Stick it on for sort of 10 to 13, 14 pounds. Buy it now, should get picked off. Tomitronics. Let me know in the chat if you had Tomitronics. Friends of mine had them. I don't remember having one back in the day. Let's do Thundercats quickly. Thundercats vintage figures. Oh, there's a collection there. They took an offer from 600. Oh, I'm still on highest price first look. Okay, that's cool. Let's do that. Tongosaurus, 549. Holy cow. What? I've never seen this. The seller has relisted this item on one like it. I assume they didn't get paid then. Tongosaurus. Right. Okay. Yeah, Thundercats. I preferred Thundercats over He-Man. Cartoon-wise, I thought the animation was fantastic. There's a collection there, 332. There's the, yeah, Driller. That's one of the rare ones, isn't it? 219. Wow. As with a lot of these figures, the money is in the weapons. You know, if you can pick up like a Chitara, for example, with her little staff, is worth a hell of a lot more. So there looks like a broken Driller, and this guy sold for good money. Stinger. So Stinger and Driller worth looking out for. I never found those. Oh, I had these little bears. What are those? Burbills, weren't they? These little bear things. Moat Monster. That's the other rare one. Look at that. £100. Bengali. Wow. Another rare one. Moat Monster again. Stinger. These are the rare ones. Linkso. I had him a few times. Never with his shield. I can't remember what I was getting. I think for this is going back what 4 or 5 years. I think Linkso was without any weapons. I think it was in the 30s back then. There's Jaeger, 72. That's gone up. I had Jaeger with a sword and the helmet. Didn't get 72. Didn't get anywhere near that about 5 years ago. Oh, happy times. I just want to look up. I'm sure they were called Burbills, weren't they? Burbill, probably spelling this wrong. Oh, there you go. These things. When I first started doing eBay, I was finding these week in, week out. They have gone up. Good Lord. 20 quid each. There's the girl Burbill, Burbill Bell, and that's Burbill Bert, and that's Burbill Bill. They're like little robotic bears, really weird. Wow, you can get up to 20 quid each now. I bet if we keep scrolling though, there'll be cheaper ones on bids. Anyway, right, cool. Let me come out screen share. If you find the Thundercat swords as well, like the kind of full-size ones, they're worth stupid money. See you, David. Thank you so much for the super chat. You really don't have to, but I really appreciate it. Let me catch up in the chat. I am miles behind. Yes, Adrian, Thundercats, just done that. Love them. Haven't seen any figures for ages. Well, I have, but on dealers' stalls, and they're asking eBay prices. So, Peter Ray says, just like original Power Rangers, Nick, the weapons hold their value. Yep. And all complete, you get loads for them. Yeah. Yes, Barry, Burbills. Oh, you had one. Okay. She-Ra. That was a He-Man spin-off, wasn't it, Adrian? She-Ra. See, Sam, he's got to go. Right, I'm going to dip in the book. I don't know how long I've been going. We've got 103 people in, so welcome if you just joined us. If you have just joined, I did one of these videos about a week or two back where I was just sharing some of the stuff that's in this vintage toys book and going into eBay and trying to find out if there's a market for them, and if so, how much they're worth. Bermuda Triangle. Board game by the look of it. Don't remember that. Mumra was Thundercats. Yeah. Was there any other ideas for stuff to look up? I don't know if I've missed any suggestions. Right, let me find something in here. Big Yellow Teapot. I think I looked that up last time. Still value in those. Boglins we did last time. Cascade. Anyone remember that? It's a tower with a corkscrew in it, which lifts up ball bearings. And by the look of it, they drop off and bounce on these. They look like little bongo drums. I assume it makes a cool noise then. Oh, and then they come around and start again. Anyone seen that before? Karen, hi Karen. Magic Robot. I could try Magic Robot. Barry, yeah, look up Cascade. Okay. Yeah, I'm intrigued. Hi, Callum. What about those old micro machines, vehicles that folded out into a little play area? I've had those a few times. I've shared those in sales roundups. There is a market for them. The big playset ones aren't amazing money on their own, but if you get a load of cars with it, you can get more money. I've sold the big trucks for between 20, 25, that sort of money. They may have gone up since. Kay Horsley, question, Nick. Boxed figures worth more than the ones without? Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah. A boxed Thundercat figure, unopened, for example, that will add hundreds potentially to its value. Same with Star Wars stuff. We all know about Star Wars stuff. Right. Before I get sucked into the chat, what was I looking up? Cascade and then Magic Robot. Never heard of that, Karen. But we'll have a look. Right. So, Cascade. Oh, I need a drink. Right, I have never heard of this. I don't know if you guys have, but it looks interesting. It's one of those things, if you saw it at the car boot sale, you may just dismiss it completely. So let's find out if it's something worth keeping in your brain box. Cascade. Let's put vintage toy. That should bring up what we're looking for if there's any on here. No, that's a swan. Well, that didn't work, did it? Cascade vintage. What else? Let's go into completed and sold. I might have to. What other keywords can I use to find that? This is not working, is it? What's the manufacturer? Hold on. Vintage toy game. Not finding it, guys. Hang on, let me dip in the chat. I don't know what else to search to find that. Cabbage Patch Dolls, someone's just suggested. Yeah, brand name. I don't know what the brand is. Why is it not telling me in here? 1972, many blah, 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 blah. Matchbox. Looks like Matchbox made it. Okay, Cascade Vintage Matchbox. Does that help? Here we go. Good shout, whoever suggested that. Right, that is it there. Oh, okay. God, these vintage toys, they all have value. Look at that. Matchbox Vintage Cascade 45. Is that the same thing? Yeah, it must be. Yeah, I can see in this box, that's a little spiral. They put theirs on buy it now for a tenner. Bad idea. Buy it now 13. And then there, buy it now 45. There you can see in that one. 1972, that one says. Yeah, that's what it says in the book. That's when it came out. £20. Yeah. Again, one of those that's worth it, but just aim high and wait by the look of these prices. What was somebody suggesting? Let me scroll back a bit. Oh, Peter's just sold his first item on Spock. Nice one. Oh, the table you were talking about. Yeah. Did they make any toys of Metal Mickey? Oh, I was going to do, what was that robot thing? Somebody suggested. Hold on. Hey, Joe, my pet rat. It says, Few just made it. Yeah, I'm not sure how long I can keep going. Andrew's cooking dinner at the minute. Magic Robot. That could bring up so much stuff, though. Let me try Magic Robot, which somebody suggested. Magic Robot. I'm assuming it's vintage, so we'll stick vintage toy. Is that what you're talking about, Karen? Ooh, that didn't go for a lot. Look, they started that, looks like at 99 pence. Vintage 1950s game, Merit Toys, Amazing Magic Robot. Actually, that might be in this book. That picture is ringing a bell now. Not sure. $9.95. 3 of them for a £5. Okay. So perhaps not holding its value, that one. I assume that's what you're talking about, Karen. Oh, my brain is like a sieve. What was I going to look up next? Let me scroll back to the end. Callum says, pretty good money compared to what I was expecting. What, on the Cascade? Right, I'm trying to see. I'm sure there was more suggestions. Oh, Metal Mickey. I remember Metal Mickey, the show. This great big cumbersome robot. It was a TV show from early 70s, maybe. Metal Mickey toy. Let's see if that does anything. It's going to bring up Mickey Mouse stuff. Vintage. I'm going to bring up Mickey Mouse. Metal Mickey. Let's put TV in there. That's the thing there. That character on the record. Oh, there's a good one. That record itself, $8.99 with postage. An annual, £7. Most annuals. I used to pick up a lot of annuals when I started doing eBay back in the late 90s, early 2000s. There was a bit of money in them then. These days, you just can't give them away. Metal Mickey robot ceramic money box. Someone sold for a tenner. I would assume they made a toy, but I can't. Can't find one. No, giving up on that. But judging by the prices on that record and the annual, there's a collector's market for it. So if you ever do see a Metal Mickey toy, I would almost guarantee it's going to be worth some pretty good money. And that's what it looked like. It was a huge thing. It could barely move. There'll be YouTube clips. Right, let me just pop in the chat. Let me scroll to the end. Hi, Vinny. Oh, Graham Nichols. That's it. I remember. Oh, you remember Magic Robot. Vinny, I have several Magic Robots. Well, from what I just looked up, not worth a lot. No. Note to self, says Graham, Magic Robot, not Bolo. Yeah, it's a no-lo. But there weren't many on there when you think about it. If you had a good condition one and stuck it on with a high buy it now in the Christmas period, I bet you'd still sell it. Karen, Nick, yes, sadly, but I didn't keep mine, so it's not too devastating. Yeah, there you go. Okay, I don't think you lost a lot. Right. Have you guys got any more suggestions, or shall I pluck something out of the book? Let's go back in the book. Let's go back in the book. This might be the last one, guys, because Andrew's going to come in a minute and tell me my dinner's ready. Right. Let's end on a high. If you've just joined me, the 106 people in, I'm... Oh, I could look up choppers. This sounds wrong. I had a chopper. I think I shared this last time. I had a chopper. I had a second-hand chopper in the 80s. It was pretty knackered when I got it, and I kind of destroyed it. And then I threw it on a bonfire. BBC Micro. Our school had one of these in whenever it was. Would have been early to mid 80s. When did that come out? Oh, that's Commodore 64. Doesn't say when the... I might look up BBC Micro. At school, this is primary school, we had a BBC Micro, and it was like so exciting. And we had one game on it, which was Chucky Egg. And we would like... At playtime, at lunchtime, there was kind of a rota. Everybody wanted to play on it. And if you were lucky enough, I think it was like 3 people at a time were allowed to go into this certain room at lunchtime and play Chucky Egg. Who remembers Chucky Egg? And Chucky Egg 2. Let's look up BBC Microcomputers. There's got to be some value in them. Massive, great things. Like this sort of size. Weighed a ton. Do yo-yo, highest sold, and skip down a few. Yo-yos. Okay, that's a good shout, Vinny. If I've got time. Barry Francis, dinner's ready, Nick. Oh, Mum, give me 5 more minutes. Yep. Come in, your dinner's ready. I can't believe Nick burnt his chopper on a bonfire, says Bumcrack Picker. It's true. Destroying your chopper in the 80s. Yeah. Right, let's do BBC Micros, and if we've got time, we will search yo-yos on Vinny's suggestion. I might do vintage yo-yos. Shall I do vintage yo-yos? Anyway, let's do BBC Micro first. Has to be value in it. Has to be. Imagine how many got chucked away. Right. Share. Right, here we go. Right, come on, give me your guesses for a working BBC Micro. I'd say at least 100. Just because of the scarcity of them, surely. BBC Microcomputer. Am I still on highest first? Oh. £37. Okay, maybe I'm way off. Are we on? I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll do highest first to wheedle out all the low-selling ones. That's more like it. I remember this thing. Look at the size of it. They were really heavy as well. So 335 rare issue 1. So maybe that's why it's got an issue 1. They had a little owl. There's the owl. Look. Little owl symbol on. BBC Microcomputer Acorn Electron. So that's different. I don't remember that. Massive bundle. Over 270 tapes. 310. There's another one. BBC Model B, 299. BBC Model B, 299. That's the same listing, surely. Refurbished at 300. There's one, BBC microcomputer with second processor, floppy disk drive and extras. Yeah, thought so. So they're worth money. $235. I wonder if someone BBC Micro Chucky Egg. I'll quickly throw that now. There we go. 10 quid. Okay, right. Let me just dip in the chat quickly. Jason and Twistle. I had Chucky Egg 1 and 2 on my Specky 48. A friend of mine, good friend of mine, had rubber keys Spectrum. I had the 48K plus hard keys, and he had Chucky Egg 2. Chucky Egg 2 just wasn't as much fun though. The first one was just sublime. Graham, 80 quid. Was that your guess for the BBC? Yeah, we undervalued that. That doesn't look micro. It really wasn't a micro system. It was a heap. Oh, I'm getting eBay messages here. Is that eBay? Why's my phone dinging at me? Don't know. Go away. Right, let's do yo-yos. I'm going to do vintage yo-yos and then probably have to wrap this up. Vintage yo-yo. I think I'm on. Oh, that's a bike. Oh, shut up, phone. People are messaging me on Messenger. Right, let me put toy in there as well. That might refine it a bit more. Or just go into yo-yos over here. Take that out. Okay. Is this what you were thinking, Vinny? Is he on holiday? I don't think so. I remember yo-yos being huge. This must have been 80s when they were the craze just took off and everyone was walking their dog and all of this stuff. Turbo Bumblebee Pro Yo-Yo by Playmax, 70 quid. Vintage Genuine Lumar Championship Yo-Yo, 55. Wow. Isn't that mad? Who's paying this? 54.31. Super Mellow Yellow. Vintage 1980s gold Coca-Cola, £52. Yeah, the Coke ones are selling. Loads of Coke ones. Fanta, 35. What's that, Vinny? Yo-yo. Yeah, is this what you were getting at? Just vintage yo-yos? It is surprising. We picked up a yo-yo a while back with a certain artist's picture on it. And it was Andrew. I don't think Andrew's listed it yet. I think it's sat in a cupboard somewhere. Pro-Yo. So that's a name to remember. Vintage Pro-Yo. Turbo Bumblebee. Yep, go to Unsold. Go to Unsolds? What's that going to tell us, Vinny? Hold on. What am I looking for? Did you say 7 down or something? Bakelite, 129.95. Vintage solid silver yo-yo. Huh? I'm not sure if I'm finding what you were thinking, Vinny. What's that? I had the Coke one in gold as a kid. Okay. I think I had just a cheap, nasty yo-yo. I remember them being, they had light up ones and all sorts of fancy stuff. Right, Andrea's not come knocking yet. We might have time for one more. gone dark outside. I've been on that long. Hi, Lainey. We're just looking up vintage stuff, reminiscing, trying to feel young again. Computer Battleship is good. I've got one down there that I want to make a little video about. I think we did that last time. Downfall, we all know about Downfall. Electronic Detective, computerized Cluedo. Hi, Jory. How you doing? Hope you're well. Leslie Warren sold 2 yo-yos last week. Coke and Sprite cost 49p, sold for £20 each. Epic. Oh, talking about vintage toys, I shared at the weekend I picked up, and these aren't vintage. I picked up 2 Tamagotchis. These are 2004, I think it was. Yeah. I can't get this one open. That is just so over tightened. I can't get it open. The other one I got open, put some batteries in, it worked fine. I listed it. I stayed up late last night listing, and it sold within the hour to a chap in China for £35 with £10 shipping. So that went off today, and these were £1 each. So I got 35 back on one with shipping on top. And that one I just need to somehow get it open and test it. Okay. See you, Jimmy. Thanks for popping in. You got them from ring pools. Oh, okay. So you collected ring pools and sent off. So in the 80s, when ring pools, they came right off and you threw them away, you could just go around, especially if you're like at the beach, you could just pick up the ring pools and get free yo-yos. They did a Coke yo-yo tour in the early 90s. Ah. Right, let's find one more thing before Andrea comes knocking. There's the Evel Knievel that we looked up last time. Silly money if you get a complete working one. Finger Frights, I remember those. Those were everywhere in the 80s. Was that 80s? Came out in 76. Right, let's find one more. Oh, yeah, I looked this up last time. Mini Munchman. Is that Mini Munchman? No, just Munchman. There was a smaller one as well, wasn't there? A little square one. Epic. I liked the old Rock'em Sock'em robots. Yeah. I don't know if that was big over here. I could look that up, actually. Game & Watches. Sod it. I'm doing Game & Watches. We'll end on Game & Watch. Game & Watch is what started me out on my eBay journey. I was collecting them. I've been a Nintendo fan since the early 90s. And I was collecting Nintendo Game & Watches. And they just continually rise in value. So I'll make this the last one, honest. Right. Let's go Nintendo Game & Watch, and we'll go highest first and blow our minds. Am I screen sharing again? Yeah, I think I'm done it. Right. Has that worked? I'm not sure that's worked. Can you see the eBay page again? Oh, I'm in a different one. Doesn't matter. Is that working? Let me know in the chat before I carry on. Nintendo Game & Watch. Harry Francis, I had Donkey Kong 2 Junior Game & Watch. Cool. Andrea's still got her Snoopy tennis. Thanks, Busy Bee. Yeah, it's working. Right, good. So we are now, oh, we're already in highest price first. So this should be quite epic. They're easy to spot. They all say Nintendo on them. If they don't, they're not Nintendo. Just grab these things. Oh, this is a job lot that went for 820. Let's skip past the job lots and go to individuals. Right, here's a rare one, Crystal Climber. Check that out. 412 pounds plus postage. Obviously this is boxed, which is going to add a chunk of value, but I'm pretty sure from what I remember that's one of the rarer ones anyway. Crystal screen. I had Spitball Sparky, which was one of the rare ones, and I sold it to a chap in Australia. Look at that. How cool is that? Boxed 1986 crystal screen. So if you see these, I think the screens were see-through, weren't they? Yeah. So any Game & Watch pretty much will have value. The crystal screen ones, that little bit more. They had some little tabletop ones. Let's go back in and see what we can find. There's a little collection. Oh, I had one of these round ones. They open up. I had the boxing one. Inside those sort of oval shaped ones, there's two little control pads. See if we can find one, and I'll go into the pictures. Game & Watch Donkey Kong 2 box 320. Then there's the orange Donkey Kong 285. These are crazy prices. Mario the Juggler. There's Zelda 249. They took an offer. There's a crystal again. Super Mario Brothers 229. Rare as hell, those. Flagman. Wow. 226. And on it goes. Another crystal one there, 200. Zelda 198. Let me see if I can find the boxing one. I'll show you what I mean about the little controllers. And I had this. I picked it up at a car boot sale. That's not. Oh, it's picking up the word box. What was it called, the boxing one then? Damn it. Boxing. Oh, that's annoying. Can't find it. Let me just look in the chat. South Wales Matt. Who are you talking to? I'm talking to you lot. Nick, your screen is stuck on a yo-yo. Oh, you're kidding. Oh. I've been screen sharing the wrong screen. Oh, how annoying. I wasn't looking in the... Oh, fail. I had two eBay screens open. I was sharing the wrong one. I've gone bright red now. Thankfully, you can't see my face. That'll teach me not to check in the chat, won't it? Now I can't find the actual screen I'm actually sharing. Epic fail. I should have quit while I was ahead, shouldn't I? Okay, here we are. So yeah, I'll go back to the initial screen and I'll show you what I was looking at. This one. So they were job lots. This was the crystal one, 412. That's the boxing one I was trying to talk to you about. I'm trying to show you. These oval ones, they fold out. What's it called? Yeah, it's just called boxing. I couldn't manage to find that. But I had that red one. I can't remember what I sold it for, but it was good money way back, like 15, 16 years ago. Oh, here you go. The picture's upside down, but you can see that one's open there. It's got two little controllers inside. Such a cool thing. Well, at least you can actually see what I'm talking about now. Fail, yeah. It wasn't a tech battle game. It's just me. I shared the wrong screen. Oh, I love it. Well, Andrew hasn't come in to tell me it's that dinner's on the table yet. Unless it is on the table and it's just going cold. Nintendo Game Watch. Let me try and find this boxing one again. Have any of you guys managed to find any Game & Watches recently? So when I put boxing in, it just brings up boxed Game & Watches. Why are they called Game & Watch? Yes, Laney's got it right. They told the time. I think they were like a little alarm clock thing as well. So it had a basic watch built into it. And a game, obviously. So these were the boxed ones. This was more the little, these, they folded out and then they lit up. A bit more like the Tomitronics. Panorama, that's what they call them. I had a couple of those as well. Look at the value on these now. Oil Panic. Oh, I remember that. That was a great game. Barry's still got my Donkey Kong 2 in the loft. Vinny had a Donkey Kong 2. That must have been a big seller. I remember Cement Factory. So many people had Cement Factory. Lifeboat, that was a great game. I had that. Not back in the day, but when I was collecting them, I had loads of these. Do you remember Fire? You used to bounce the babies on like blankets from the burning building. Rain Shower, yeah, I remember that. There's boxing. I may have even had this boxed, you know. Maybe not, can't remember. See if they had some pictures. Here we go. So yeah, there was only, I think there was only 2 models of these that opened out. There you go. You can see in Nintendo's pictures there. Wow, look at the condition on that. There you go. And there's the controllers. So you opened it up, pulled the controllers out, and then you played 2-player. You closed it again, then you could see the screen. Really, really clever design. I mean, you can see, I mean, these are all the precursors to Game Boy Advance, and then DS. You can really see sort of echoes of DS in these. So, yeah, I'm sure this is not news to most of you, but they're easy to spot. If you see one, they will say Nintendo on them. And yeah, love them to bits. I kind of regret selling my collection off, but there you go. You do what you do at the time. Jason Entwistle, does anyone remember the digital watches with calculator? Yeah, I had one. The buttons were so small, you could barely press them without, you know, pressing like 3 buttons at once. Yeah, I had one of those calculator watches. Dinner time. I can actually smell dinner now. Sorry, yeah, I wasn't reading the chat. I do get a bit carried away. Really sorry, I stopped screen, or I was sharing the wrong screen for a while there. Good luck with that, Andrea. He's lost in a world of vintage toys again. Oh, is Andrea in the chat? Is Andrea? Dinner's ready. Okay. Dinner is ready. Andrea is in the chat. You could have come in and told me. Right, I'm going to end this here. Sorry for the epic screen sharing fail. I hope you enjoyed that. I will do this again just purely because I enjoy it. Thank you so much for your comments. I only have one Game & Watch. It's staying in the collection. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's only ever going to go up in value anyway, Jory. So got nothing to lose, mate. I'll leave you there. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for all the comments. If you enjoy what I do, please give it a thumbs up. I'll do this again sometime soon. Take care. And yeah, good luck with your eBay selling. I'll see you soon. Take care, guys.